going to call the September 3rd, 2020 meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission to order. And if the administrator would call the roll.
All righty, Hank Bagelmann.
Yeah.
Katie Payne.
Here.
Doug Benschoter.
Here.
Richard Dane.
Here.
Mary French.
Here.
Stephanie Garner.
Here.
Dave Huser.
Here.
Kathy Olson. Oh, I see her, but I think she's muted.
She's lit up, but she doesn't have her.
All righty, Heidi Solheim.
Here. I'm here.
Hank, you're muted. Hank, you're muted.
Oh my goodness, you know. Okay, I've got one minor addition to make on the agenda, and that's under old business. And it's to take a quick look at where we're going with the comp plan. And other than that, is there a motion to approve the agenda with that one addition?
So move.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Those in favor say yes.
Yes.
Those opposed, no. And the agenda is approved as presented. Let's take a look at the minutes of the August 6th meeting of the commission. Do we hear a motion to accept those as presented?
I move to accept as presented.
And is there a second?
I second.
And we have a second. Any other discussion? Hearing none, those in favor say yes.
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 Those opposed, no. And the minutes are approved. We have no public hearings this evening. We have one item of regular business, and that's to review a plat of survey for parcel H and parcel I and parcel C. So the administrator would give us a little bit of background on this one.
Yes. All righty, so we have parcel H and parcel I and parcel C. This is a property that is located in Bremer County, southeast of City of Waverly, city limits. We'll do a kind of a zoomed out aerial here. Here's the city limit, and then we got the parcel in question down here. So essentially, this is one large farmstead, if you want to call it that. It's got the primary structure of the house on the front, which is what they're proposing to be parcel H and parcel C. And then they've got kind of the farm ground behind it. They're splitting it up. Right now, the plans are to keep doing agricultural type uses on the proposed parcel I. If the opportunity comes up to sell it for a single family residence, they'll take that opportunity, but at the moment there's no plans for that. I know I sent an email out, I believe late last week. They had kind of sort of changed the parcel H, and they just changed the size by about 1/4 of an acre. My understanding was that that was kind of a change in where the road was located. If I zoom back in on the aerial here, you can see that this property is kind of split in half by the road here. So they just kind of changed where that right-of-way line was. That's the only difference that email showed. Staff doesn't have a recommendation on this. It's outside if I go to the future land use map, it's not shown in our future land use. It's just shown as potential annexation area. We don't have it designated as a residential or a commercial district. If it ever is annexed into the city in the future, it'll probably be annexed in as residential. There's a lot of other residential properties near it. So staff doesn't have a recommendation on this.
Okay, thank you, Isaac. How about any comments, observations? I drove out the other day just to see the site, and it's a nice piece of land. It's a pretty curvy road there, but not the part that goes by here, but go down another half mile. How about anybody? Do we hear a motion then?
This is Heidi. I will move that the Planning and Zoning Commission recommend approval of the plat survey for Parcel H and Parcel I and Parcel C to City Council.
I second it.
Okay, we have a motion and a second. I think Stephanie. No?
Mary. Mary.
Sorry. Okay, is there any further discussion? Those in favor, say yes.
Yes. Yes.
And those opposed, no. And the motion is carried, and we'll send that over to the county. Just real quickly, under old business, the comp plan, we're a year behind. And I wanted to just clear up a couple of things. We changed gears during the last 10 years. We used to do a complete comp plan every 5 years. And when we did the 2010-2011 comp plan, about a year after that, we made a resolve that we didn't really need to do that every 5 years, but that if we just do a review and just see how are we doing and update what we had, it is not a new comp plan. It is simply a revision to the 2011 comp plan, and that's what we're using today. It's more for your understanding of it, because sometimes it gets described as though we went through the whole process during that in-between time. Last time we began that process in 2010. We finished up and had it approved in October of 2011. So it's a process that's going to take us, when we really get rolling on it, it'll take us a year plus. Proposal is that we begin to do the preparatory stuff probably starting in January, and look to think about who we want to hire to work with us as an advisor, facilitator. We've been using Intercog, and I don't know, Dave, I've sure been satisfied with their work. Rich, you were part of that also, but we're going to need to take a look, and probably maybe early spring thereabouts, begin to really take a look at who's going to fill that role. Any comments? Some of you have been through these. The comp plan is laborious. There's no ducking around it. We have lots of public gatherings. Will probably involve close to 100 citizens who get into discussion groups and all the rest of it. But Dave, anything from your observation? You've done more of these than I have.
No, I think you're on track. It's always great to have the public input. It's the invitation that they send out, I think, is good. And especially, I don't know where the new census is going to come in, but I think it would be great to have some new people that have come to town involved with that too when we do go. And who are you thinking about leading that?
I don't know, Isaac, has anything been said in terms of a facilitating group? There are some people that do this kind of work. I think my bias has been toward Intercog because they have a lot of relationship with other communities in our near vicinity, and they have a sense about where we're coming from. And
Do you have to seek proposals, or can you just hire based on success in the past?
yeah, probably
We'll
have
probably need to put out a request for proposal.
Yeah, I don't think we're restricted to take the lowest bidder, however.
But you do have to do a request for qualification.
Yeah. I remember we've done that the last couple of times. I didn't know whether it was required or not, though.
So what's your experience, Dave, with Intercog?
Well, I think it's great. It's been great. What's it, Brian? No.
Yeah, Brian Soon.
Brian, yeah. Is he still involved with Intercog? Do you know, Isaac?
I don't know. I've been dealing mostly with Rose with Intercog. I apologize, I forget her last name, but she's been doing the community development block grant program here in town. So she's pretty much the only person from Intercog that I've dealt with thus far.
Well, Brian's done our last 3, has it been?
I believe so.
I mean, he has a great familiarity with Waverly and how we would look to the future there. I mean, if he's still able to do it, I would be I would be very interested in having him work with us again. I mean, he keeps us on task, and like you said, with Intercog, he's involved with a lot of communities and it has a good pulse. But that's just my thought.
I mean, is this a sensitive issue?
Sensitive in what way?
In that, you know, there would be any folks in leadership positions who are saying, no, this is just the same old thing. You know, you keep going back to the same people for the same work, or
That's why you have to put an RFP out to show that you looked at other applicants.
Trash can's a good spot.
There's, pluses and minuses on both sides. I mean, the plus is that Intercog, you don't have a big learning curve. On the other hand, if you get somebody new, you may get some new ideas. So, there's pluses on both sides.
And if you have to put proposals out, we might as well find a couple of other ones to get proposals from and look at them, right? If you have to do it, you have to do it.
It'll lead to some pretty healthy discussion within our group.
Brian's name still shows up on their website, so I'm assuming he's still there.
Any other comments, questions?
The first 2 were done by the engineers out of Des Moines, and the second one was the engineer from Fort Dodge, if I remember right.
Floor engineering. What's
that?
Wasn't it McClure?
McClure, yeah. That was the first one. And I think the second one was, I think that was done in 90, and then 2000 was done by somebody from Fort Dodge, I think. And then I think Brian has done since then.
I think McClure was Fort Dodge.
Okay. I was thinking there was somebody out of Des Moines. That's 30 years ago.
Yeah, right before I left Tumwa to take the position here, we were going through a comp plan. We were using Confluence out of Des Moines, and they were an excellent group as well. So I know that Intercog thus far, I've had really great experiences working with them on other, like I said, the CDBG grant and other type things. But yeah, I know that there's a lot of other firms out there that do pretty good work when it comes to comprehensive plan updates.
Heidi, I know you were around to do the update. I don't think you were here though for the full-blown thing. But what were your impressions on the update?
Well, I mean, they really tried to get us to look at different options and question things that were out there. I mean, it was really my first experience with more of the community planning than just like a facility planning. I'm more used to that. So I mean, I felt it was a good process. We didn't have a lot of engagement from the community, so I hope that's something with a full-blown one that we'll be able to get more people involved in it, especially economic development members too.
Yeah, I think you're right. Rich, you were part of these.
All we can do is jump in and let's get at it.
I hear you. Anybody else? 2 cents worth. Okay, we'll keep this one alive. I think probably get started in earnest after the turn of the year, and but it's just so that you're updated. If you want to see a copy of the comp plan, there are copies available here at City Hall. It's worth taking a look through. It fills a notebook, and not the normal 1-inch binder. It'll fill a notebook before we're finished. So it can be a good time. Anything else for the good of the order? Well, do we hear a motion to adjourn?
I move that we adjourn.
Second.
And we are. Thank you very much. I appreciate you coming out tonight. I'm looking forward to when we're sitting around the same table. You folks.
Thank you.